Good morning, viewers. Welcome to ST Money's Morning News, your weekday business news channel. It is Tuesday morning, December 10, 2024, and I'm your host, Sunil Thakker of Sunny Talks Money. Let's roll. Wall Street's main indexes closed lower on Monday as investors looked ahead to a crucial inflation report set for later this week. All three major indexes fell, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average dropping 240 points or 0.54% to 44,401. The S&P 500 lost 37 points or 0.61% to 6,052. And the Nasdaq Composite gave up 123 points or 0.62% to 19,736. The declines were broad. 9 of the 11 S&P 500 sectors finished in the red after the S&P 500 and Nasdaq had both closed Friday at record highs. The S&P 500 dropped from nearly overbought technical levels following a series of all-time highs. An outsized influence on the indexes. Nvidia stock fell 2.5%, though that still left it up 180% for the year. US stocks slipped to start the week, highlighted by declines in Nvidia shares after China announced an antitrust probe into the chip giant. Nvidia Corporation slid as China opened a probe over suspicions the giant US chipmaker broke anti-monopoly laws around the 2020 deal. Beijing's anti-monopoly regulator said on Monday it was investigating Nvidia over suspicions that it had violated the terms of a conditional approval it received from Beijing in 2020 for its acquisition of an Israeli networking firm. The move came after a week after the US ratcheted up controls on China's access to high-end semiconductors. Nvidia dragged the information technology sector down 0.45%. Shares of other tech behemoths such as Alphabet, Apple, and Microsoft rose. They were led by Apple, which gained 1.6%. Among other individual stocks, Interpublic Group climbed 3.6%, following a report that marketing giant Omnicom was in advanced talks to acquire the advertising company. Omnicom shares fell 10.3%. Hershey's was the biggest gainer in the S&P 500, jumping nearly 11%. Shares of Hershey's surged 10.9% following a media report that Cadbury parent Mondelez was exploring an acquisition of the chocolate maker. Mondelez shares, meanwhile, fell 2.3%. Advanced Micro Devices slipped 5.7% after Bank of America Global Research downgraded its rating on the stock, weighing on the Philadelphia Semiconductor Index, which slipped 0.87%. Comcast slid 9.5% after forecasting a loss of more than 100,000 broadband subscribers in the fourth quarter, denting the communication services sector by 1.3%. Also on Monday, Workday rose 5.1% after S&P Dow Jones Indices said last week the company would be added to the S&P 500 index. Elsewhere, US Treasury yields climbed as traders awaited consumer price index data on Wednesday, likely the most important economic report before the Federal Reserve's policy meeting next week. The yield on the 10-year note settled at 4.198%, up from 4.150% on Friday. Only a dramatic CPI increase would prevent the Fed from cutting rates in December. Oil prices rose after rebels toppled the government in Syria over the weekend. US crude fell. Futures ticked up 1.7% to $68.37 a barrel. Bitcoin prices dropped below 100,000 after settling at a record of $101,581,000 on Friday. Bitcoin fell 3.9% to $96,179. Spot gold rose 0.9% to $2,658 an ounce. Key events this week: US CPI data on Wednesday, US initial jobless claims and PPI on Thursday. That's it for today, folks. I will see you again tomorrow morning. In the meantime, please subscribe, share, and like this video. Thank you. Happy investing, stay inspired, and remember, it's all about money.